Hello, welcome to Sheepdog Says. I'm Sheepdog, and tonight has been a bit rubbish, if I'm honest. I got home with the kids tonight after picking them up at their nan's, and there was a letter waiting for me on the doorstep. I wasn't really sure what it was going to be because it was handwritten on the front and had a little stamp on it, and I thought, no one writes to me. And it was basically the local shopping centre. They wrote me a letter basically reminding me of something that happened back in October. My wife brought me tickets to see Tottenham play in Wembley. I took my dad, it was his birthday in October, and it kind of worked nicely that we were going to meet up there. But to get there, I had to drop my car off at the station. It must have been about, I don't know, it was morning time. I can't remember exactly when. And on the way in, there's this massive metal gate. Now, it opened out into my car as I'm driving past it. I drove in, I parked up, looked at my car, there's just scratches down the side of it. I was furious. And I just thought, for God's sakes, I got a train to catch, I need to get on. So I rang their support desk and said, look, your gate scratched my car. The bloke come out, he had a chat with me. He said, I'm really sorry, mate, it happens all the time. It's just something that, you know, I'm sorry, give us your details, we'll sort it out. You go about your day, I'm just gonna take a couple of pictures and I'll let you know, give you the details, we'll give you a shout. So I went about my day, got to London, had a great day, watched Spurs. I can't remember who we were playing now, it was that good. It was a genuinely great day though. Me and my dad had a fun time. We were sat in these really nice seats right in front of Club Wembley. You know, it was brilliant. It was just like, you know, everything went perfectly from that point onwards. We won and it was just brilliant. Come back, saw my car there, so I drove it home. The shopping centre rang me to say that basically, you know, they were going to look into it. What did I want to do? And I said, well, look, your gate scratched my car, so I'm going to claim to get my car fixed. They said, all right, we'll just confirm it on the CCTV, and then we'll come back to you. So I waited, they come back to me and they said, the CCTV doesn't really show anything. All we see is you driving towards the area where the gate would be. But due to the angles, we can't see anything that happens. There's a wall in the way and like the car's sort of there and the camera's pointing down. It can't see it because of the angle. So I'm like, okay, but I'm telling you this is what happened. You guys accept it happens all the time, you know. So I'm just going to let them know that it's happened and they'll be in touch to get the paint fixed. I said to him, if it's not that much money, I won't bother claiming on it because I'm not an idiot. I don't want to go through the rigmarole of claiming over something that would cost me 50 quid, 100 quid to fix. His response, when I thought I was being very fair and very kind about it all, was that basically, because their gate was damaged, they would be pursuing me because they never admit liability, they never admit fault, and they would seek to claim damages on that fence if I was to claim against them. So the hint that I took from the call was, if you dare claim against us, we're going to claim against you and we're bigger than you, so you need to back down. So basically he said to him, don't worry about it. I'll go get the scratch repaired. Because a friend of mine whose partner's a mechanic said, it won't cost much, it'll probably be a bit of T-gel. I'll be honest, looking at it now, T-gel wouldn't have done it. I think that's what it's called. Something that melts paint or something, I don't know. I got a quote and it was going to be about 150, 180 quid to get it done. I haven't had it done yet, even though it's since October, because quite frankly, it doesn't affect the car having a scratch down it, you know? I don't really care what people are going to think of it. It's just a scratch. I thought nothing of it after that though, because I thought, well, you know, it's the end of June now. It's been, I can't even do the maths, 7, 8 months since it happened. That's about right. And suddenly today I get this letter saying they've priced up the repair. They've figured out how they want to do it. They would like me to pass on my insurance details and discuss with them how I'm going to pay for it. I rang straight away and said to them, hang on a minute, A, you damaged me and you admitted that at the time that it happens a lot. And we kind of agreed that if I wasn't going to pursue it, you weren't going to pursue it. And they said, oh, the woman dealing with this isn't in, blah, blah, blah. Call back tomorrow. So I've just been like stressed then because I'm going to give them a call. I'm going to say to them that this is the scenario, exactly as I've just told you. And I just don't understand what they're thinking. I'm a bit miffed because when I spoke to them, they'd told me all this. I spoke to my insurer briefly, and my insurer just seemed to be completely useless about it. They were just like, yeah, it's probably easier if we just say we'll pay the repairs on the gate. And I said to them, but I didn't do it. They did it. They should be repaying you for the repairs on my car. And they were like, yeah, but we have to go and do a lot of work to check that and make sure it's right. So I had a big argument with them and got nowhere. But then it kind of solved itself because I was told to leave it by the shopping centre. And now I'm just in this weird scenario where I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm a bit concerned that when I ring them tomorrow, they might start doing this whole we're bigger than you thing. We're a shopping centre, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I'm a bit miffed about that. And then I was trying to chill out, and I nipped out on my way to work and did a Pokemon raid this morning in the hope that they were going to bring out their raid passes for the Mewtwo raids. And then someone said that they were all coming out, and I got all excited. And I thought, oh, that'll be the nice little, you know, moment of, well, hey, I feel a bit better now about the rubbish afternoon, the evening I've had with this stress. And the blooming Egypts have only gone and done it for like 3:30 on Thursday next week, so no one can possibly do it. So then I was just like, I'm thinking, that's such a tiny thing. That's such a first world. It's probably a 0 world problem. It's not a problem at all, and I'm not stressing about that. But I was just like, okay, that's 2 things that have just come out of nowhere and gone, what's going to happen next? So the rest of my evening's been pretty weird, actually. There's 2 things. One, it's been a bit fun. It's been quite funny, actually, in general. I jokingly put a tweet out this morning. I don't know if you've seen the Weezer cover of Toto's Africa. It's an awesome cover. And it must have been about 7:45 this morning, roughly. They mentioned it on Radio X. And I jokingly put a tweet out saying, I really enjoy the Weezer cover of Toto Africa. All it's making me, I can't remember exactly what I worded now. What do I need to do to have Gold You're Looking Chain cover In the End by Linkin Park? I just tweeted it out, like I do millions of tweets. If you follow me on Twitter at RB6K, you'll know I just tweet out nonsense all the time. I forgot that I'd done it, to be honest, but I was sat there kind of stewing in the fact that I was annoyed about Niantic, I was annoyed about this shopping centre, I was watching the football, and a little doodle pops up on my Twitter. Gold You're Looking Chain, like my tweet. They'd obviously got an alert looking at the fact that they'd been mentioned, because I hadn't tagged them. So I've tweeted now going like, is this the start of the campaign? And tagged them in it. And I'm thinking, if I can get some momentum behind this, I could end up with that kind of Sheepdog's cartoon life scenario where I'm going, that cover, I made that happen. Because I think their accents will be brilliant singing a song like that. I would do my impression of it, but it'd be offensive to Welsh people, so I'm not going to do it. So that was a really good thumbs up. And then Bosco, right at the end of the evening, I just put him to bed, and bless him. I always say to him, what did you learn at school today? And he always says nothing. And I say to him, what did you do when you got there? And he's like, did the register. And I'm like, and then what? We played. And then what? We went on break. And then what? We went on lunch. And then what? We got in and played more. And then what? We did the register. I don't know why they do a register after they've played. Probably to check the rules still there before they go out and give them to their mums and dads. But anyway, I said to him, there must be one thing you've learned today that you didn't know already. And he says, no, all we did was play all day. And I'm thinking, I don't believe that for a second. I used to be a teacher. The rule about teaching is that you set out your phases, your lessons, with a starter to gauge the room, a middle to teach them, and an end to go, you didn't know this at the start, now you know it, prove it, and they all bark it back at you or whatever, and they prove it. That's the nuts and bolts, the basic of it all. I assume it's the same at his level, but apparently he doesn't acknowledge any of these, and neither did my daughter at this age, and she still doesn't really. She does tell me things, but not that often. So I said to him, there must be one thing you didn't know, and then he went on like that. So then we've been trying to teach him stuff all evening, it's like all part of that conversation. My wife asked him what an optician did, and he said he didn't know. And when she explained to him that they look after our eyes and they check our eyes, he said, you already knew that. So I asked him what a paramedic did. She reckoned he'd know, but he couldn't tell me. I told him, he said he knew. So I'm like, and then he carried on. I think he just has trouble thinking, connecting the dots. So then I was asking him, I was trying to come up with harder and harder things. I asked him how it works when you've got he was playing Roblox on his iPad, and I said, how does that work? Where is Roblox? He says, on the internet. And I said, well, where is it stored? And he said, I don't know, Google. And I was like, not quite. Where is it stored? And he was like, in the internet. And I said, and what's that? And he was like, I don't know. And I said, well, I started with, they're computers. They're called servers. He went, I know what a server is. I was like, you don't know what a server is. And he went, we download things from servers. And I was like, well, technically that's true. And he was like, it's on the internet. Servers are on the internet, you know. And I said to him, okay, but it stores the file. I said, your iPad goes to it like a phone calls another phone. It calls the server and it says, send me these files. And he was like, I know that. And I explained to him in very basic terms how a file gets sent across the internet in pieces and it all pieces together at the end and then gets turned. I already knew that. It's just like, he can't be beaten. He did go on to explain more to me about what he understood about what I was saying, but I was just like, oh, I don't envy the teachers having to teach someone his age who thinks they know everything, because I guess you don't grow out of that until you're about 30. I don't know. I don't even know when I first realised I didn't know anything. I think that's the weird realisation that you get to when you're an adult, is you realise nobody knows anything and everyone is winging it all of the time. And that ability to wing it is what makes you competent enough to go out into the real world. I think if my kids could acknowledge that now, they'd probably do a lot better at school. But trying to convince them that it is all about just winging it. It's funny, actually. I'm going off on a bit of a tangent, but you can definitely tell when you're working with someone who hasn't got that ability to just kind of fly by the seat of their pants and see what happens. There's a difference in their approach to stuff. But I'm loving the fact that he's just constantly... He's good at bluffing. He's definitely good at the whole fake it till you make it thing, because he bluffed his way through everything we tried to teach him. I need to come out with something complex enough that he definitely can't know it, but basic enough that he can learn it and then sound like he's really clever if he ever brings it up. But no, it was fun. He definitely cheered me up. Kids are awesome. Well, Lampup's having a grump, but I think that's because she's turning into a teenager. We'll cover that another day maybe, because that's hard. Having a girl that's suddenly becoming grumpy because she's turning into a teen. I'm sure millions of you have done it before. Not that millions of you are watching, but yeah. And yeah, we'll cross that bridge another time. I'm not going to think about it. But I am waiting for the third thing to happen now. I've had two funny things, two stupid things. So I'm owed a stupid thing and a fun thing, which hopefully will round off the evening nicely. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe in the corner. Watch more videos and like and comment and all that stuff. I don't know why I point to various parts of the screen. I can't remember where I put the stuff at the end of the episodes anyway. But thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Watch more. I'll see you tomorrow.